completing our ladybug, guys. So we're going to be starting with the head. Now we're going to be doing a square formation. We're going to be pulling for 10 loops. Now do you see where I'm using my finger to show you where? So I'm going to do the intarsia method to have a little bit fun with it, but you can just do pure black, pure primary to actually look like a ladybug, or you can do the intarsia method, which I'm going to be showing you. So we're going to be pulling 3 loops for the top and bottom and 2 loops for the sides. Now when you pull these 3 loops, you're going to want to space them a stitch apart. So go and observe what I mean, what I'm doing here. So there's my first loop I pulled. And then if you added the crocheted part, just simply what you're going to do, you're just going to kind of shift around it a little bit. Don't pull on the crochet part itself, but try to find the stitch that's pretty snugged right up almost underneath it. And so this is like a vertical stitch I'm taking right here, or there's possibly a horizontal stitch. Just really try to dig right underneath the surface crochet, and you're going to be pulling a loop, and you want to be pulling these loops tight too. So I'm showing you right here, I got a little bit of the surface crocheting with it. You really just want to make sure you get in the stitches that are not the surface crochet stitches. And so I'm going under 2 here, guys, just as long as I'm getting it under my primary or secondary colors of the heart of the ladybug, and make sure it's a stitch apart. So I'm going to be pulling for my 3rd stitch now, and I'm keeping it a stitch apart. If it's horizontal or a vertical stitch you're going to take, it's going to be real nice and tight. So see, I'm using my finger right there. That's about a stitch over. 3rd one. Like I said, 3 loops on the bottom, 3 loops on the top, 2 on each side. And the 3 loops that you're pulling, you're going to want to have a stitch, 1 stitch over, a space over. And so in total, it's going to be 10. Now, do you notice where also, I should have mentioned this, guys. So go ahead and tuck in your tail, but you notice where I pulled my loops, it's not very much right up on the edge line of the red. So please be aware of that. Please be observing where I'm pulling these loops and where I'm showing you with my finger. Now I'm going to be pulling for the 2 loops on the first side right here. Now, please observe, so I'm going to go a column down. So do you see a column down? So 1 column down, and it basically like a row down. We're basically kind of like really spacing these stitches here. And then these 2 stitches are going to be side by side right next to each other. There's no gapping these 2 side stitches. And it's going to be really, really tight. You're going to be taking some like vertical, diagonal stitches. So you see, again, I'm showing you 1 column down. It's basically like 1 column down, 1 row down. Now the bottom loops, and this is so much easier because now we have the layout set. You're simply going to be pulling these loops coming directly across from your top loops. Now do you see what I'm doing with my finger? You can pull these loops right on the edge line of the black, or you can take it down a stitch or 2, a row or 2 down from the edge line. And what this is going to do is make your head a little bit more wider and shorter. But the further you take it down, I told you about a stitch or 2 down, a row or 2 down, when you lay your ladybug down, it might tip forward. So you kind of want to just keep it really close on the edge line where you see me pulling these loops. Right on the edge line of your secondary color, the black, whatever color you use for the bottom. or just go down by one row. Just go one row down from the edge line. So with my pink one, I went like one row down from the edge line. With this one, I'm taking it right on the edge line, pulling these loops right on the edge line, just as you see me right here, right on the edge line. And so this really helps the ladybug when you set it down. It's not tipping forward, it's not falling forward on the head, on the face. And like I said, just be aligning them. This is easy now. You're pulling these loops directly across from your top loops. So you know the space stitch is already there. You're simply directly across, mirror image to one another. And again, it can be super tight or right here on the edge line. It's pretty easy. And I'm pulling right on the edge line, or you're pulling one row down from the edge line, which is going to give you a wider, shorter head. Pulling right up on the edge line, it's going to give you the most length. And then if you're using velvet, guys, same concept, same thing. I'm just going to, when we get to the stuffing part, just don't stuff. If you're using velvet, don't overstuff the head if you're using velvet. Now, same thing with our last side, just like the bottom mirroring the top, this side's going to mirror the other side. So do you see what I'm doing? Remember, we went like one column over, one row down. And it's all diagonal stitches here, vertical, horizontal stitches. Just find the stitch that you can pull two loops through. And that's what I'm trying to show you right here. It was pretty crazy right here. Really trying to shuffle for some stitches here. But like I said, just make sure you are mirroring it from the other side. And there you go, and no gap is in between the side stitches again. And so you should have a total of 10, and I'm showing you again, it should be one column down, and you should have a total of 10. 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, 2 on each side, 10 only. And again, I'm using the intarsia method here. So you're going to be seeing me switching back and forth now. So now that was our first row. It's a total of 8 rows, guys. That's it. Very simple, very quick. So now I'm going to go ahead and knit for my second row. Keeping it nice and tight. So that's why I'm kind of struggling pulling the working yarn through, because I'm really making these loops super flush, super tight. And for every 2 rows, I'm going to change to my secondary color. It's going to be primary, secondary, primary, secondary. There is no set pattern where you must do, if you're doing the target method, you must do primary, secondary, primary, secondary. You could have started with black, red, black, red. The only reason why I started with red was because I wanted the 8th row to be black. And then with my pink and white one, I went the opposite, where the face, right in the center of the face, it's pink. I feel like I should have did it white though, or if you're just doing pure black, like a ladybug, there you go. This is very, very simple. Just knit 8 rows, stuff it, done. So this is what I have so far. It should be looking something like this. I just want to go and give you a look of it. This is what it should be looking like. And if you're doing it with the velvet knit, you should be knitting very, very tight. And it should be looking something like this still. But now I'm going to switch over to black now. If you're doing pure solid color, Just go for it. Knit 8 rows. Done. If you want to do the intarsia method, two-tone striped, this is how you do it. Or you could burn the yarn, join it. There's even that. But the intarsia method really is designed to go back and forth without having to burn, tie knots. It's for like the constant flow that you're just rolling with it. And so I just simply inserted it like a stitch. And now I'm continuing for the 3rd row and 4th row. Knitting tight. And I'm going to show you when I get to the 4th row what I'm going to do here to keep on flowing with the black now. I'm going to go and tuck in my tail, guys, just like that. That's secured. It's good. It's not going to pop out. And just be knitting tight. So I'm going to let you guys observe me. I'm going to, this is the 3rd row and 4th row. A total of 8 rows. Now coming up to the 4th row, what should I do here? I'm simply just going to pull over the black yarn, the working yarn I'm still working with, the color, and just continue on. And you see the red working yarn is just laying right there still, not even touching it, just went right over it. So like I said, the intarsia method is like a method to just keep going with the flow. Just keep on going. No stopping, no pausing, no burning, no cutting, making knots. You're just rolling with it. You're going on to the next row. And so this is the 4th row. And then, let me see, 3, 4. The 5th row and the 6th row, I'm going to switch back to red. And I'm simply just going to pick up that working yarn, that color, and roll with it. Just keep on knitting again. And so that's what I'm trying to show you right here. That the intarsia method is really helpful with speed and going back and forth, back and forth. It can go up to like 3 colors, real smooth in a plushie. So you see right here? Put the black aside, pulled up the red, knit, pull it nice and tight, knit nice and tight, and continue on. That's it. So now this is 5th row and 6th row. And then, let me see, 7, 8th row, back to black. 8 rows in total. Doesn't matter if it's velvet, doesn't matter if you're using super plushy yarn, or if you're using regular chunky yarn. Doesn't matter if it's intarsia, 2-tone, or one solid color. Just 8 rows, and then we're going to stuff it. And again, which I'll be saying this again, if you're doing it with velvet, do not overstuff the head. But there you go, guys. I'm going to let you go to observe me now rather than keep talking and repeating. Just watch how I'm moving these yarns around. Unless you're doing one solid color, this is a real nice, quick, easy part right here. And I want to go and instruct on this part right here that when you're done with your going back and forth 2-tone color, go ahead and snip off that color that you're done with, and I'm just going to tie it on to the working yarn that I'm still knitting with. All for security purposes. 1 knot, 2 knots, stuff it in. You're not going to see the knot. It's in the plushie. Just like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and finish off my 7 and 8th row. Done, guys. That's it. This is why I say this is such a beginner pattern. really nice because you're getting short sections of, you're learning to do a heart, the increasing, decreasing, and then you're knitting a couple of rows and you're enclosing. Stuffing, especially if you're doing with the velvet, don't overstuff it. I mean, it's just such a good beginner pattern right here. So as you go and finish observing, and then we're going to be stuffing, enclosing. Done. Okay, so here it is. Here's what it should be looking like. Yours can be looking different from mine. You can just such a nice designs you can do with this. Pink and white, like my other one. Solid black, solid white, solid pink. Now I'm going to cut a tail, and I took it down to like the whole length of the head. And now we're going to be stuffing. And what I'm showing you with my hand is you want to really widen it now. We're going to really widen the head. So I went and stuffed it a little bit on my own, and now I'm going to go and finish it off with you guys. Really showing you that with all except velvet, you really want to pack it in there and stretch it out. Now why not with velvet? Because velvet is so malleable. You don't need to overstuff it because the head's going to look funny. It's going to look too huge. So it's really important to not overstuff the velvet if you're doing it with velvet. Once you stuffed it good though, you really packed it in, stretched out that head. Now we're going to be enclosing. Taking our tail, weaving it through all 10 loops from inside out, it's considered. Now that stitch that's connected to the tail, you're going to want to use maybe a marker or just kind of make sure it doesn't disappear on you as you're tugging. Especially with the velvet. The velvet is so slippery soft. You can go through all the loops, then tug. So you see I keep on pulling on that loop that's connected to the tail. I don't want it disappearing on me every time I tug. And so before you completely enclose it, here is where you can judge it further. Defluff it or fluff it up more. See where you need to perfect it. You want this perfect little head shape. And the stuffing really is the key factor to that right there. Now do you see what I'm doing now? This is where after you stuffed it good and enclosed it, tugged, continue to mess with the shape. Push in a little bit more. You want to achieve the perfect little head shape for this ladybug. And that's all with the stuffing and the molding. So you see it's really kind of, I'm really kind of straightening it right here at this point. I don't want my yarn to snap. If your yarn snaps on you, just undo your work, reattach more yarn, cut another tail. And you can reattach it by tying on a knot. That's kind of a pain though, so it's best to do the burn method. But if you don't know the burn method, just tie more yarn, recut a tail, and resume. Just kind of be careful as you're tugging. Okay, so do you see what I'm doing here? Really squish it, smash it. You want that perfect shape. And if you're satisfied with it, then there you go. You are done. So I just want to give you a general look here of what mine looks like. And then once you're good, stuff in the tail. You can tie a knot, stuff in the tail, or you can stuff in the tail and use hot glue and poke in a piece of scrap, same color of yarn, for really, really secured right there, especially for a younger child. That hot glue is going to hold it in. And go ahead and keep on smashing it. Really trying to get a cute shape. You don't want the head really like being long, because ladybugs, you know, they don't really have like the longest little head. It's kind of like more like a small little semicircle almost. But once you're good, so this is what I want to show you right here. We're going to do the eyes next. But I'm going to go and take my glue gun, wherever you're tucking tails, poked in some glue, take a tiny, teeny scrap piece of same color of yarn and stuff it in. Now if you're using the loops and threads, Fluffy Chenille, Brunette Frosted, or on Amazon, Jumbo Chenille, you gotta type. It's really gonna like show that it's all blended. You won't even tell that you cut a piece and stuffed it. Little trick here, guys. I'm using my scissors to puff it up. Do the same thing and just really molding it right there, perfecting it, because this is black, so it's really gonna show any glue that pops. You know, if any glue is showing, just take your scissors and snip it off, just in case like you put too much. But now we're gonna be doing our safety eyes. Now here's where it's completely preference, guys. I'm doing safety eyes, all materials in the PDF. This is really pretty, guys, right here. So do you see, that's the back of it. And I'm simply going to be using hot glue. Here is where you can add your own safety eyes. You can embroider your eyes. I know it's a real popular one right there. Or, you know, this is your preference right here. But I want to take you to the whole process. And so over here, I'm just cleaning it up. I feel like the hot glue kind of came through a little bit. So just take your scissors and simply snip it. Real careful, and it works, guys. Problem solved. But these all materials, the safety eyes, are in the PDF. Material list includes all the links. If with your next ladybug, you want these right here. It's got a pretty little moon shape, colored moon shape to them. So I'm gonna go and show you right here. I'm simply judging where I want to put it. Before I take the glue gun, go ahead and judge. So this is what it looks like. It comes as. Put on the backing, the colored backing. It comes with different colors. I thought gold. The red was tempting though, but almost like a hot pink. But look at that. Look how cute that is. So I thought this one right here. And so I'm judging it. Now I'm going to take my glue gun and poke it right where the pierces are, the little indents. Kind of get the glue gun in deep into where the polyfill's at. And then have some at the surface, as you can see. And now I'm going to press. Press. Really, really good. We want these like stuck. We want that hot glue to really smear out all, pretty much majority behind the safety eye. I'm going to go and do it to the other one and let you go and observe. So look how cute he looks. I think this is really adorable. And you can really see the heart even with the surface crocheted on the back. Unless you didn't do that, then you should very much see a heart showcasing like the one I did on the velvet. It's really, really, really nice. I think really perfect Valentines right here. So that's why I think this is a good Valentine's pattern. Including for Mother's Day pattern. So, giving you a whole look of it right here. So, if you don't want arms and legs, you're just going to do the feelers, done. Foundation chains for the feelers. Unless you choose a different preference for your feelers. But this is where it's pretty nice now. Smooth sailing, guys. So I already did one to show as demonstration. It is simply a foundation chain. I'm using black. And I'm going to go and show you. Real simple. Align it with your eyes. Use your eyes as your markers. You're going to align it with your eyes. And pulling these, let me see. It's going to be 4 loops. We're going to pull for 4 loops here. So find your spot, like pretty relatively close to the front of the face. And we're making 4 loops, a small foundation chain. And you want to knit these loops very tight, really tight. If you're doing it with velvet, really tight. And so I'm showing you with just one. It looks pretty cute with just 1 loop. Now, if you like the length and it's 1 or 2 loops, pull an extra loop. Because when we cast it off, when we cast off this foundation chain, it's going to decrease it by 1 loop. So that's the look of 2 loops. If you like that length, then add on 1 more loop. The length that I want is of 3 loops, and I'm going to show you right here. And so I like the 3 loops length, knitting very tight, and so I'm going to add on 1 extra loop, which is 4. And when you cast off this foundation chain, it's going to decrease it by 1. So here's the length. There it is. And now I'm going to show you with casting off this foundation chain. I'm going to add on 1 more loop because this loop is going to be the loop that we cast off with. And now you're going to cut a tail, a very short, tiny 2 inches tail, 3 inches tail. And we're going to pull that tail from inside out. It's considered inside out. Get it right through and tug, 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 tight, tight, tight. And it makes a knot. Done. And now it just decreased that 1 loop too. So now I'm tucking in that first tail that I started with. Tuck it nice and right into the plushie, and you know where I tuck in my tails. I use hot glue. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and secure it. Take my glue gun, poke in that glue pretty good. Bring just a little bit to the surface. If you can kind of see that right there, just a little bit to the surface. Tiny little scrap piece of yarn. And poke it in. Done. And then you can like mold it a little bit more. Nice and smashed right in. Nice and secure. Taking my scissors to poof it up right there because I was just smashing on it. Poking on it. Done. Now finishing it off. Same thing. You're going to go ahead and cut a real tiny tip. And well, you can cut a really, really tiny tip and take it down to like the knot. You won't have no tip sticking up. Or cut a tiny little tip. And do you see what I'm doing with my glue gun? I'm going to mold it. And there you go. Now, especially if you're going to be adding, this is the fun part, guys. This is where it makes it really Valentine's. All materials in the PDF, the red glitter hearts, they're picks from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to go ahead and hot glue Well, I'm gonna show you. I go more just a ladybug theme with this one, but the pink and white one and the velvet one, I do hot glue the pick hearts to it, the glittered red and pink hearts. So I'm gonna show you though, if you just want this right here and just, you know, really mold down that tip, press on it, and there you go. I think it looks really, really cute. This is a cute plushie, and not even having no arms, no legs, there you go. It can work if you really want to showcase that heart. But if you want to additionally add a Valentine touch to it, again, these are from Hobby Lobby. In those other craft stores, Walmart, you can get this, Amazon. Just a plain glitter heart, and I'm going to hot glue it. Really wanted it to hot glue it, but I was giving it to my kids, and so I wanted him to be completely all soft. And then no need to make them all Valentines. But I'm going to go ahead and give you the look with both. So look how pretty that is. Even if the hearts were like maybe gold, like to match the eyes, I think that would have been really, really nice. So there you go. It should look something like that. So I think that's really cute. If I saw that at the store, I'll be, oh my god, that is so cute. Perfect for Valentine's or Mother's Day. So simply just going to hot glue it. There you go. But if you don't want to do arms, no extra embellishments, you are done with this tutorial. I really hope you found it easy. Very much beginner pattern. You know how to do a heart now, a heart pillow. And to make the size of the heart bigger, you know, just to keep on adding more loops. Keep on increasing. But if you want to add the cute little arms, they are simply foundation chains, guys. 2 loops. 2 loops. That's the length I want. 2 loops. Or, you can determine your length, but the pattern is 2 loops, so we're going to add on 1 more extra loop, so 3 loops in total. Now, do you see where I'm pulling? Right on the edge line. This is going to make the arms right up in the air. If you want the arms, the legs, the limbs more flatter to the ground, then pull these 3-4 loops more further down, not right on the edge line. So it's the same concept, the same thing. It's like you're making more feelers. And there you go, guys. So I pulled for 3 loops. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull that tail right through. Same thing, just like making feelers. So I did 3 loops to have 2 loops length. Same thing. Everything is the exact same. You're basically making more feelers going all the way around. That's it. And now the placement, you could do it right on the edge line, having the little limbs, the little legs up in the air. Or take it further down when you're pulling these foundation chain loops to have them more set on the ground. And there you go. And you can even just add arms. I was thinking about just adding the arms. Like, this is such a versatile, preferenced pattern. But I added the feelers because I think it makes it cute. I think it makes it cute. Because they're really, really tiny. They're barely there. And I just thought it had a cute element. So there you go, guys. I don't want to instruct too much because it is exactly repetition the rest. So basically making feelers going all the way around, except for I'm making 3 loops foundation chain so I can have 2 loops. because when we cast off, it's going to decrease it by 1. So there you go, guys. Look how cute that is. Right on the edge line, arms up in the air. Or you could take it further down where the legs will be touching the ground. The only reason why I didn't do that too is that when you flip the ladybug over, you're going to still see like the heart for its whole entirety, where versus if you add the legs a little bit lower, you're going to see the heart and then like little legs sticking out. So that's why I'm keeping it on the edge line. So again, made 3 loops, cut in a super tiny short tail. You can go shorter than that. Weave from inside out, tug, 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 lock it down, decreased it by 1. So now it's like 2 loops length. Tuck in that tail, use hot glue, I highly recommend. And then go ahead and cut off that excess amount and hot glue it down. Mold it down. Nice perfection. Nice and secured. And there you go. So that completes our whole pattern, guys. Very much. That's why I wanted to really put emphasis that it's beginner. It's not overwhelming. And you're learning how to do a heart as well. You're learning how to do a heart as a standalone project. And then you're learning how to add on to it to make a ladybug. And intarsia or just plain primary, that's it. And then in the intro, I showed you how to make it heavy weighted if you chose that route. So there you go, one side is done. At this point, I don't want to speak too much. It's just pretty much showing you the finishing off touch. But there you go. Look how cute that is. Tiny little arms and legs. Just adding cuteness to it. And then you see how the heart is really showcased right there? That's why I chose to do it also on the edge line. Even though these limbs, these arms and legs are like right up in the air. But if you're still trying to decide, go ahead and decide the look that you want. And here you go. I finished it off right here. Little arms, little legs, basically foundation jeans. And look how cute that is. See how the heart is untouched? And then I simply just traced it on over, use my finger. Just trying to show you how I was judging it. But pretty simple, guys. Just you're gonna know where to plant them. And the heart, the bottom is completely showcased and untouched. We just messed with the edge line. And so I want to go ahead and show you this right here. If you have any gaps, simply just take your glue gun, especially if you're using fluffy yarn like Loops and Threads or Bernette Frosted or Jumbo Chanel that you can find on Amazon, or just really fluffy yarn. Just cut a scrap piece of colored yarn, line hot glue on the polyfill, and then just blend it right in, lay down that short little tiny piece. And if you're using fluffy yarn, you wouldn't even know that there's anything cut. Everything is so flushed together. And with this one right here, it's the same thing. You would never know that there's a cut piece right there. So that's if you have any gaps, just kind of poking out somewhere, you can do that. And no, you don't feel the glue. So there you go, guys. Look how cute this ladybug is. And I kept this one more just a ladybug, but I had to do the pink one to show you that, you can go really like a Mother's Day theme, pink and white, pink glitter hearts, and using the fluffy yarn, the sizing, or velvet. A little bit more romantic, a little bit more cherished, pampered plushie right there. And then making it heavy weighted. Such a versatile, really play around with this pattern right here. I hope you found it easy. And again, you can make it for Valentine's, Mother's Day, or just a plain ladybug. Thank you so much.